In Glasgow, Scotland is Jack Valero, the founder of Catholic Voices. It's a communications project. It trains lay Catholics to talk about topics related to the church. Welcome to the programme, Jack. First of all, your reaction is, if I'm sure you did, even though it was announced in Latin, you must have realised that it was going to be Robert Prevost when the cardinal was announcing the name on the balcony.
Sure, and then the surname was given, and then his Latin name, his papal name, Leo, which I thought was extremely significant, because he is very much in the mold of Francis, but also looking back to Leo XIII, the previous Leo, who wrote this very important document called Rerum Novarum, which was the first time that the church spoke about religion, politics, and economics, taking the side of the workers, those in the, following the Industrial Revolution in the 1890s, and linking to that social justice document, as well as Francis's own statements and direction, was very significant.
Yes. Oh, sorry,
Another
Jack.
significant
Yeah.
thing. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, it's fine, because we're talking about the name. Of course, we remember John Paul I, the very first John Paul, and Francis being the very first. The name that a cardinal takes upon becoming Pope obviously sends its own message. Let me read you, Jack, a little quote from the homily that the new Pope has just delivered in the Sistine Chapel. He says, "There are many contexts in which the Christian faith is considered something absurd, meant for the weak and unintelligent, contexts where other certainties are preferred, such as technology, money, success, power, and pleasure." He fully understands the battle that's happening between the spiritual and the practical world. Where does he fit in that space?
Sure, and another significant thing is that he's a missionary. He is somebody who became an Augustinian. He's the first Augustinian Pope. Somebody who became a consecrated religious in order to go on mission. And he went on mission to Peru, where he stayed for decades and became a bishop there. But that means that he's thinking always on how to transmit the message of Christ to the world. He said that there are difficulties in the world, but the church is for the world. We're not there for ourselves. People ask, who is Christ? And we must give them an answer, because for us, Christ is the answer. But we must be able to articulate this in the face of all those problems you just mentioned. He obviously is a very intelligent man, and he realizes all the issues that political and financial and everything facing him, including relationship with the United States and Trump and J.D. Vance and the various people involved. So, but his answer is, as a missionary, we have Christ, we preach Christ, we take the side of the people, we take the side of the migrant, of the suffering person, we take the side of the poor, of the prisoner. We are in favor of people, and I think this could be a cause for conflict, but on the other hand, it could be a cause for bringing people together. We need to look at these problems in terms of people. In a religious way, the problems become problems about people, not about money or about power or things like that.
Yes, but his predecessor wasn't afraid of making the comments that could almost be deemed to be political statements. So you've touched upon it there, Jack. The issue of building walls to keep the other out. Francis spoke out against that. Would you expect the new Pope to be as forceful as Francis was, considering who the president of his homeland is?
Well, he did say yesterday that we must build bridges, and I think that was a reference to it. But his style is different. He's not so much in your face, but I'm sure he's clear. We've heard from the previous intervention how he tweeted against what J.D. Vance had said, and how he said, well, this is not Christian, or this is not the way that the church looks at it, because J.D. Vance is actually a convert to Catholicism. I think he, in his own style, in his own quiet style, he will take a position against things that he considers injustices. On the other hand, I was going to say that his motto, which he took from St. Augustine, because he's an Augustinian, is, "In the one Christ we are one." And I am sure that the cardinals have seen in him a unifying figure, not just in the church, which is very important in the church because polarization from the world has seeped into the church as well. So we need unity there, but also in the world. I think that he's very much a believer in unity. You know, he started his homily today talking about working with the cardinals in unity. So I think that he will want to work with people to solve these problems that exist in the world, but from the point of view of loving the person in need.
Jack, thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us. Really, really interesting to hear you. Jack Valero in Glasgow.